moved to Davenport for Oscar Mayer.
Yeah.
So at that point in time, Marvin was how old, would you say, when you guys moved to Davenport? Was he still a toddler, or was he older?
He was like 2 or 3 years old.
Okay, and you had what baby then?
Shirley.
Okay, you had Shirley then.
Yeah.
Okay.
18 months after.
And so what was it like living in Davenport?
Weird. I'd never been.
Right.
I had been all over Iowa, but and my mom at Christmas would have to go when they sold the tobacco. Then she went and got Christmas stuff. One of the neighbors had a vehicle, and I left out after my dad died. She sold everything, and she worked. We had a dairy that took our milk through middle school and had it pasteurized. And then me and Kenny had to haul the milk in the milk cans for about a mile. We left it going to school. We didn't waste any time.
Yeah.
So, when we sold the place, because we couldn't keep it up, and Glenn had married, and Melody had her twins in the bedroom. She didn't have a doctor. So, one of them died. It was born dead.
Still born.
Yeah. And one of my girlfriends was crippled.
And you had a brother that passed away when he was really young too. Yeah.
But between me and Lynette, he had bronchitis, and they had no doctors back then.
Yeah, it was more common for children to pass away than I think it is now.
And most of them, a lot of it was birth, because they didn't have
defects
doctors.
And different things. Yeah.
And the Army doctor that was afterwards, he was in way down there in Knoxville, and he didn't go nowhere, so we were stuck without a doctor. We had midwives, my grandma and Aunt Cassie. So when they was going to have a baby, that's who you called.
You didn't go to a hospital like you would today.
After we moved in town, we went to the Evans. It was great big. It's still there, but it's apartments now. So.
And so then you moved to Iowa, to Davenport, and you had your toddler, which would be Marv, and you had Shirley.
Yeah.
And what happened after you moved to Iowa?
We bought a trailer and moved to Devil's Glen. And then I had the rest of them, and it just.
And then you and your first husband had some serious things happen.
Yeah.
And he was abusive towards you, correct?
He was abusive to me, and he messed with two of the girls.
Yeah, and I don't want to get too much into detail about those hardships. I just want it to be, part of your life story is you had some really traumatic things that happened.
Every day.
And you ended up having your nose broken, correct? Yeah. And so when you found out that there were some things happening with the kids, that's when you packed up and left.
Yeah.
And so at that point in time, Marv was older, correct?
Yeah, he was 16 and worked at cemetery. JL come up to work, but he didn't have a vehicle, so they had to ride the bus.
And how were your kids growing up? Were they? Did you have any troubles when you were when the older kids were younger?
Shirley always run away. Always trouble. She didn't want to go to school. She ran away a couple times, and they caught her her and a girlfriend down in Missouri. Cops brought her back. And she went to live with Louise. She didn't stay there. She just... we moved to LeClaire, and we bought a house there. And it's kind of blurry because I don't want to remember.
That's fine. We can skip that part, but you moved around a few times, and then eventually you packed up what kids and moved to this area?
Marvin was sent out to when he molested Shirley and Paula. And he was sent to... They didn't punish nobody back then.
Yeah.
So, and Bert Bannister was my lawyer, and I divorced his ass.
Yeah.
And Pam thinks that's the only dad she has, you know.
Well, and that's okay.
Yeah.
So you guys packed up, and what kids did you take down this way, and what kids were grown up then?
Paula was in a home, and I got her out as soon as I divorced him.
Okay.
Shirley, I didn't hardly ever know where she was at. She just run. And it's kind of weird.
Rick came here.
Rick come.
Pam.
No, Pam.
Anita. Yeah, they were with you when you moved up this area.
No, Pam went.
Pam went to school in Knoxville.
Yeah, later. Paula, she was in a foster home till things got straightened out. And she tried to kill herself because of what Dad did.
Yeah.
And I got her back, and she didn't graduate, but and then
But at that point in time, you were piecing your family back together.
Right.
Okay, so when you moved down this way, did you start out in Knoxville?
No.
Okay.
Monroe.
You went to Monroe. Okay, and so you guys got a trailer there or a house there?
House trailer.
Okay.
And Rick was working with helping out with a trailer park. And hunting snakes.
Okay, hunting snakes?
Oh yeah, I'd wake up and there's in a jar.
Oh my gosh.
He never was afraid of nothing.
Yeah.
Anyway, we moved to Knoxville in a trailer, and then that's when I bought the house.
And what are some of the things that you did there after you were piecing your family back together? What are some things that you did as a family?
We always had holidays together. Marv didn't. He had married Cheryl, and they helped him out a lot. Yeah.
And Anita was still a baby when you moved to Knoxville, or was she a toddler?
No, she was like 2 years, 18 months.
Okay.
And she would always, we had to pick the Sundays in the park right there.
How long was it when you moved to Knoxville when you met Dad?
I met Dad when I was up in Davenport with a lawyer.
You met my dad?
Yeah.
What was he in Davenport? What for?
They had sent him up to Knoxville for the doctor. He had brains.
He had metal plates in his skull, and
well,
he had
they had already took it out.
Okay.
They put metal when he was in service. He was guarding a woman and Korea, and they hit him with a rifle butt. And when they shipped him over here, it was open.
Yeah.
And they sent him to Minneapolis to the doctor.
Okay.
And
so then he was relocated around the area.
Yeah.
Okay. And so you guys met each other at the VA? Okay. And so can you tell me a little bit about that spark and how you guys met and what attracted you guys to each other?
Everything.
Everything. Okay. So what was it at first? What was that first conversation like?
He had went to Kansas City. His dad was a cop. And he, all of them was cops.
Okay.
Or rodeo. Him and Bill was rodeo. And that's why he hated cows and horses. But, no, as soon as I saw him, that was mine.
Yeah.
And when he come back from his dad's funeral, I had already got a divorce. And Bert Bannister was mine. He didn't understand why. I said, well, one day I'll bride. Never.
Right.
It's like most people that you do what they're told.
Yeah.
And shut up.
Yeah. And that was the woman's role. But you went against that grain when bad things were happening and you started your own life.
Yeah. Yeah.
And with Grandpa Dan, can you tell me about your guys' early relationship? Can you tell me some of the things that you guys did together?
We did everything. He was a disabled veteran. We fought for that. We worked at the VA.
And what did you do at the VA?
Everything.
Okay, so what were some of your jobs there?
We sewed for the patients. I had a sewing room. All the DAV and the organizations brought stuff for their families and the clothes. And I sewed just like I am now.
You heard it? I farted. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Anyhow, we had a sewing room, and we
You had a big canteen area where things were donated.
Yeah.
And then they could come and get things for their families or personal needs. Mom and Dad had shelves just made up really nice.
I remember when I was younger, you used to say that you used to read to the VA patients.
I did.
You did. So what are some of the things you read to them?
Anything they wanted.
Oh, okay, so they picked out what they wanted you to read, and you would just feed their eyes a little bit?
We had some that couldn't, all they could use a stick and use a computer. Because most of them couldn't.
They bowled.
Okay.
They had bowling parties for them, bingo.
Yeah.
And you liked doing things. You liked being a part of events and going out and doing stuff?
The kids did too.
They did too, okay. And Anita was still little. And did you have foster children first, or did you have mom first?
I had mom first.
Okay. So tell me about when you found out you were pregnant with mom.
Oh, I was tickled to death. See, all the others was Barnett.
Yeah. And you were excited to have another name.
Yeah. One of ours.
And
the angel.
And tell me about life with another child. So when you had mom, you had her in Knoxville.
Yeah, at the old hospital.
Okay. And was Anita excited to have a little sister?
Not really.
What about Pam? Pam was still in the house at that time?
Well, when we lived in LeClaire on the farm, Paula tried to hit Shirley with a hatchet.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, Shirley was mean to all of them.
Oh,
when I were little. Paula didn't take
Well,
it.
Shirley has a fire, or she had a fire in her, you know. I think everybody knows that.
I don't know what it was, but it was like a devil. Absolutely.
Well, I remember when I was young, Aunt Shirley used to come down and watch exorcism movies with us kids. So
yeah.
Okay, so when Mom was born, how was the family? Was everybody excited?
Oh,
or
yeah.
were people not so excited to have a baby in the family?
Oh, yeah, they was excited.
Okay. And did
she was like a doll.
And Mom got along, the baby, Mom got along with the family members, and everybody liked packing her and Anita around and playing with the kids?
Anita was, she would go to the park and run away. I mean, she thought she was.
Yeah.
We lived in a trailer there, and she would cross the street, she'd go.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Okay, and then, so when did you start having foster children? How old do you think Mom was when you started having foster children?
I was 14.
You were 14. Okay, so there's quite a bit of time there before you guys had foster children.
Well,
so tell me.
We worked with the sheriff's office when they would have somebody like my little stoop kids. They had been very bad mistreated. And they took them out of home, and Shides called Dad to come and we went up and got them. All they had was a...
Did you feel some sort of responsibility to take care of those kids? Did you feel like you were a beacon, that you wanted to help?
Not that. It's just that we had 18 foster kids.
And you were kind of just the person that they went to?
Yeah. But there wasn't very many people would do it then.
Yeah.
So...
And you already had so many kids, and you just assumed that responsibility.
Baby. And some of them were pretty bad.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I had Kathy Vipper, she was a deaf child. And she was out in that home, and they brought her to us. And she got too possessive. You know, she didn't want to go back home when she was supposed to. But they were abusing kids back then. But
so at that point in time, so you had been up until Mom was about 14 then. You had been a family, you had been with, it was in the home, Mom, Anita, who else was in the home at that point?
Pam for a little bit.
Pam.
And Rick had moved to...
He had got married.
Okay.
He moved to Pella.
Shirley was moving around different places. Paula was...
And Elkhart.
Okay. And then you got your foster kids, so you dedicated a lot of your time to your foster kids.
Yeah.
And during that time, I know that there was a lot of fishing. That was a huge part of your life. Where did you go fishing at? Where were your favorite spots to go fishing?
County Park.
County Park?
And the dam.
Below the dam.
Below the dam, okay. What was your favorite thing to catch?
Catfish.
Catfish?
I eat catfish.
Okay.
Who's that sound like?
You. All right. What made you feel at peace when you were fishing? Is that something?
It's just something that's
calming.
Yeah. And we was out there when it stormed.
It didn't matter what the weather was.
And Rodney, they were camping at that same time.
How weird.
Anyway, the tornado went through. I was sitting up in the truck. They would not come off of that river.
Paul and
Mark, and they always come down and fish. And then Lee was always there. They fished at night. And it killed about 100 birds.
Trees were falling down by us in the truck.
They were out in the boat, right?
No, they were on the side of the dam fishing. and they did not come up, and a tornado went through and took out half the campground. It was bad. Rodney was camping in the campground that we found out.
Wow, that is crazy.
Uh,
So fishing was a huge part of your life. Is there
Yeah,
any
we-
other fishing
we-
stories or any other stories that you want to tell?
a lot I can't.
Okay.
Sorry.
You are fine. I know Anita always told me about when her and Grandpa Dan were out in the fishing boat and it was storming and they were
That
trying
was
to
the county park.
the county park and they were taking cover. So it sounds like you guys picked bad weather to fish in.
We did.
So it sounds like it doesn't matter what weather it was.
The
You guys.
weekend they died, him and
Anita.
Anita was out in the boat,
Mhm.
and that's the weekend he died.
Mhm.
So
And did you have family that came up and visited you from Tennessee, or?
my mom come a couple of times when Catherine was sick,
Okay.
and
Aunt Catherine lived with us.
Oh, okay.
yeah, well my sister-in-law, Jay's wife, run her off. You know, she interferes with everybody. That was. So they sent her up to me. She was okay till she would work, but she was nosy, and you know. Sorry.
No, you're fine. These are your stories.